welcome to a new video. Today I am at the San Gabriel Mission in the city of San Gabriel, California.
There are places where history is simply remembered, but there are others where history is still alive. More than 2 centuries ago, Father Junipero Serra and a group of missionaries arrived here, and what they began can still be seen and felt today. The sound of water brings a sense of peace, but at a mission like this, water meant much more. It meant life, it meant food, it meant hope, and it was the resource that allowed this place to flourish. Today we're going to explore some of the most fascinating corners of Mission San Gabriel Arcángel. But by the end of our journey, we'll discover something even more remarkable than historic buildings, something that has remained here for more than 2.5 centuries and continues to tell an extraordinary story. This kitchen, for example, helps us imagine what daily life was like inside the mission. The clay pots, iron utensils, and massive fireplace remind us that every meal required hours of work. Everything was prepared by hand. Nothing was easy. The mission was much more than a church. It was essentially a self-sustaining community. This is not the original kitchen. It was built in 1927 by Father Raymond Catalan as a replica of a traditional Spanish kitchen. Just a few steps away, we find the outdoor kitchen. Here, you can still see the brick structures where large griddles, cooking pots, and other vessels were placed. These areas made it possible to prepare food for much larger groups, especially during celebrations and harvest seasons. Every brick tells the story of the tremendous effort it took to keep a mission running more than 200 years ago. One of the most important things to remember about this mission is that this land was already home to people long before the Spanish arrived. The Tongva had lived in this region for thousands of years. These traditional homes, known as ki, were built using branches, reeds, and native plants. Their round shape helped withstand the wind while keeping the interior comfortable throughout much of the year. Although the arrival of the missions dramatically changed the lives of the Tongva people, their history remains an essential part of this place's identity. None of what we see today would have been possible without water. The mission developed a system of canals and irrigation ditches that carried water to its fields, gardens, and workshops. By the end of the 18th century, this irrigation system was considered one of the most advanced in Alta California. Thanks to water, it became possible to grow fruits, vegetables, olives, and the grapevines that would eventually change the history of this mission. And now we arrive at the true heart of this place. Standing before us is the mother vine, one of the oldest historic grapevines in California. It is believed to have been planted just a few years after the mission was founded, using the mission grape variety descended from the first vines the missionaries brought from Spain through Mexico to establish California's missions. What is perhaps most remarkable is that its roots extend approximately 30 feet beneath the ground. While we can only see the trunk and its branches, most of its strength remains hidden below the surface, and perhaps that is the perfect metaphor for faith. Roots cannot be seen, yet they support everything. For more than 250 years, this vine has survived storms, droughts, earthquakes, and countless generations. And it continues to produce grapes today. But this vine was never planted simply to produce fruit. Its purpose was far deeper. From the earliest centuries of Christianity, wine has held a central place in the celebration of the Eucharist. During the Last Supper, Jesus Christ took the cup and said, "This is my blood, which is poured out for you." Since then, wine has become one of the most important symbols of the Catholic faith. That is why every mission needed to cultivate its own vineyards. It wasn't a luxury, it was a necessity. Without wine, the Holy Mass could not be fully celebrated. Every cluster of grapes represented far more than a harvest. It represented hope, it represented sacrifice, it represented community, and it represented the continuation of a tradition that has crossed continents for centuries. When we look at this ancient vine, we are seeing much more than a plant. We are looking at a silent witness to California's history, a living vine that has remained here since the earliest years of the mission, reminding us that some of the most important stories continue to grow even when time itself seems to stand still. Many people visit Mission San Gabriel Arcángel to admire its beautiful architecture or to experience one of the oldest historic sites in California, and it's certainly worth doing. But after exploring its kitchens, its traditional Tongva homes, its historic water system, and finally arriving at the mother vine, you begin to realize that this place represents much more than old buildings. It represents perseverance, it represents the shared history of different cultures, and it represents the strength that comes from deep roots. Perhaps that is the greatest lesson this mission has to offer. The things that truly matter take time to grow. They require care, they require patience, and when their roots are strong, they can survive for centuries. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. I'll see you in the next adventure.
If you liked the content of the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. It's free. I am Juan CLA. Thank you so much for your time. Until we hit the road again, bye.